I was forcing productivity through burnout. The myth of it all. There was a time in my life I did it all. Full-time nursing student, full-time worker, full-time party girl. I was bending time and I was breaking myself. I wore productivity like it was a badge. Really, it was a shield, protecting me from feeling the cost. What was I afraid that was going to happen if I slowed down? What was I trying to prove? Who inside was I hiding from? Eventually, my body made me listen. Through burnout, through disabilitating mental health, through numbing myself with food, wine, and one more thing to do, eventually my body made me listen. Now I have a whole different relationship with stillness. Now I don't feel that I have to continually be productive to produce value. I can see the value in the things that I do produce and recognize the cycles and rhythms within how I produce them, and know when it's time to rest and when it's time to go. Now that I have more practice in the quiet, it allows me to feel more comfortable in the quiet. What do you use to fill the quiet? Scrolling, sugar, one more task? How would your life feel different if you honored your pace instead of constantly pushing? You're allowed to be human, to be slow, not do it all. The story lives within my nervous system, so come take a walk outside with me and I'll tell you the rest of it. There's a rhythm to nature, and there's a rhythm to our lives. We're just now crossing that threshold, the deep rest of winter to the abundance of spring. From exhale to inhale, from dark landscape to bright and colorful. Everything here moves slowly, yet everything still grows. In astrology, this is the new year. This is Aries season, full of fire. Initiation. This is a time to name what you're devoted to, because when you're connected to something bigger, your work isn't just labor, it becomes love. So you ask me, what am I saying yes to right now? Well, and in this current season, this is what I'm saying yes to. I'm saying yes to showing up on YouTube and making this foundation happen. I'm treating it like it's like I used to do in water polo. We would have Hell Week when we first started the season, and we would do 2-a-days. It was 2 weeks of trying to get us in the best shape we could possibly be in, so we could be the best team out there. And we were pretty goddamn good. So that's kind of how I'm treating this YouTube channel. I'm putting in my Hell Week, or my Hell Month, because guess what, guys? I got something bigger to grow than some strong legs right now. And for me, this build has been total intuitive. We just went through this Mercury retrograde, and Mercury is of the mind, and retrograde is when you're going back and reviewing. And I find in retrogrades that getting paint on canvas tends to be challenging. So I usually try to finish up pieces before I enter into the retrograde, so that way I'm not feeling frustrated when I don't have to be. And so this retrograde, I very specifically, I listened. I was asking for specifically continual income. And when I can answer that thing, when I can figure out what it is that wants to be built, and I can actually listen to that call for me, that's when the magic is made. And that's when things flow like crazy. There's been parts of this journey that I look up and I'm like, I don't even know how I completed all of this in this amount of time. And it's really cool to watch and see the magic and really make it feel like magic when things flow together so easily. What's your inner fire pulling you towards right now? And how can you honor that without burnout? Now I take what I learned from the rest and I move with intention. Let's go make space for this humanness in the way that I create. There's a difference between hustle and devotion. One drains and the other ignites. When I paint in rhythm, when I show up daily not to force but to flow, that's when it clicks. It's not always easy, but it's powerful. Even fire has rhythm. A breath in, a breath out, a blaze, then to coals. When I feel most alive in my work is when I've been given the chance to have that rest period and been given the chance to have that planning period and fully moving into what I'm creating, feeling rejuvenated and with a strong foundation, my work comes to life. And there's a huge difference when you find that connection, that calling or that deep innerness of your soul going, this is what I'm here to do. And when you find that, then the devotion that you're giving it and the work that you're doing, it ignites and it fuels versus stealing away and burning out. And it allows you to 10 times the output you're able to put out because you have this drive and this passion for what you're doing. You can't make that up. This isn't something you can mimic. You can't make up devotion for something that you don't believe in. And that's what truly matters, is finding that deep belief and desire to have purpose for a single thing. And that's what drives. That's what creates the consistency. That's the engine that builds this conveyor belt that pushes you to the moon. What's something that you want to devote yourself to this season? Not perfectly, but with consistency from the heart. You don't have to choose between rest and progress. You're allowed both. Stillness is sacred. So is fire. Comment below with what you're currently honoring in your rhythm. Rest or fire? And share with someone who needs permission to rise again. Not from burnout, but from belief. You don't need to choose between rest and progress. You can have both. Comment down below with one thing you're choosing not to do, and that will be enough.